Hello, everyone. It is April 4th, 2022. I cut my hair. Had a couple of people calling me about one of my last two videos. They don't realize I just do this for fun. Try to keep the mind active and try to understand how these other YouTubers have all this fancy backgrounds and they can make themselves a little small there in the corner and then they can show their news articles. Well, I guess they don't give that information away for free. And I have been trying to learn it myself. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about the tale of two cities, which of a group of us got together last fall trying to figure out what 2022 would be about. And in Charles Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities, first paragraph, first chapter. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief and the epoch of incredulity. Oh, there's a tongue twister. It was a season of light. It was a season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on it being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. Well, that last sentence is something to think about. For comparison only. And when was that book written? Sometime after the Civil War. And if you don't know who Charles Dickens is, well, we'll move right along. So anyway, I want to read something, probably more make a comment about an article that somebody wrote. And it has to do about farming, and I know I'm supposed to tell you all about the peppers, but you know, they will grow and mature in my area. I think it's called Zone 5. Unless you have an early freeze, they really kick in gear in August, and then they grow until a hard freeze. And before the freeze, you just pick them and then they'll store in the refrigerator for a long time. But this article is by Michael Schneider. He's an editorialist. And he sent out this warning today. A very alarming global food shortage has already begun. It is only going to get worse in the months ahead. I realize that that is not good news, but I would encourage you to share the information in this article with everyone that you can. People deserve to understand what is happening, and they deserve an opportunity to get prepared. And I don't have his link for that, but he said to get the word out, so that's what I'm going to do. The pace at which things are changing around the globe right now is absolutely breathtaking. But most people assume that life will just continue to carry on as it normally does. Unfortunately, the truth is that a very real planetary emergency is developing right in front of our eyes. And then he lists 20, according to him, facts. And some of this is from last week. I've already heard about it through Twitter and a couple of news feeds I follow. So he thinks the number one, or I guess you got to start somewhere. They all seem pretty severe. One of France's most important government officials is telling us that we should brace ourselves for an extremely serious global food crisis. And then he has a name that I can't pronounce. And then the next one is Joe Biden recently admitted that food shortages are going to be real. And his administration is now openly using the word famine. The Biden administration is worried Russia's invasion of Ukraine will cause famine in parts of the world. The White House Council of Economic Advisor Chair Cecilia Rouse told CNBC on Friday, which would have been, today's the 4th, it had been about, I think April Fool's Day was Friday, but I don't think she's fooling. It is being reported that food prices at German supermarkets will soon go up between 20 and 50%. And I see a few people posting vlogs of that had happened today. I don't know how you just suddenly increase something 50%. It's a lot better to just increase it a little bit each week, in my opinion. But anyway, they're saying that the food index is going up at 7.6%. I can tell you for real, it's gone up 75% on beef prices, and I'm here in Kansas City, Missouri. And we used to be the Kansas City was known for its stockyards. Back when I was a kid, people used to ride horses, you know. All right. It says rationing has already begun in Spain and in Greece. Let's see. They are rationing things like flour and sunflower oil. Another tongue twister. Flour and sunflower oil. Let's see. The head of BlackRock, which, as you know, is a huge investment firm, is warning that this will be the very first time this generation is going to go into a store and not be able to get what they want. And let's see. Oh, it was last Tuesday, since this is Monday, so this is a week old. BlackRock Incorporated President Bob Capito told an audience in Austin, Texas, hosted by the Texas Independent Producers and Royalty Owners Association, that an entire younger generation is quickly finding out what it means to suffer from shortages. And that was reported by Bloomberg. Let's see, since this time last year, fertilizer prices have gone up as much as 300%. I kind of seen all this stuff coming down when I was in the lawn business. I saw that prices were going up for what I had to pay. I had to charge more. Interest rates were down. So people didn't want to pay the price increases. And I have been out looking at a potting soil, because it's time to start some seeds. I did a video, and I will be doing the update on the hot peppers and bell peppers. I love my peppers. Let's see. Many farmers in Africa will not be able to afford the fertilizer, and that will reduce the number of people they can feed. It says With prices tripling over the past 18 months, many farmers may forego, as in forget, the purchase of fertilizers. Well, they just have to. Oh, can't say that. I was going to say make compost, but I guess you have to pay a carbon tax on that. So Russia is normally the biggest global exporter. But I heard today that they're not going to export anything to anybody unless it's a friendly country to Russia. So we won't talk about what's going on. Most of the publicity is in the Ukraine, but all over the world, there's these little hot spots. People have lost their humanity. Other nations rely on wheat exports from Russia and Ukraine even more than Africa does. One Russian official is warning that his nation may soon only export food to friendly nations. See, last Friday, it was announced that another 5 million egg-laying chickens in Iowa would have to be put down because of the bird flu. And don't you find it interesting how all of these events that are happening, like on egg-laying chickens, what's around the corner in a couple of weeks? Easter. So you're not going to have any eggs to die and hide in the yard. The death toll from the bird flu in Iowa alone will be pushed beyond 13 million as a result of this latest incident. Well, I know with a Tractor Supply, they got a lot of baby chickens and they're moving them pretty fast. And you can't hardly find any food for the babies because they got a little bitty mouse and they got to have itty bitty kernels or they can't swallow them because they don't have any teeth. I guess most of you know that the chickens don't have teeth. We're being warned that the winter wheat harvest in the United States will be disastrous due to severe drought. One prominent farmer stated that most Americans won't like it when the grocery bill goes up $1,000 a month, which I hope it doesn't do that because I live on $50 a week on food. The head of the UN World Food Program says that what the planet is now facing is unlike anything we have seen since World War II. Ukraine has only compounded a catastrophe on top of a catastrophe, said David M. Beasley, the executive director of the World Food Program, the United Nations agency that feeds 125 million people a day. There is no precedent, even for this, close to it since World War II. Well, I disagree with him. I remember some famines in Ethiopia, Sri Lanka. Well, anyway, he's younger than me, and he finishes off by saying, in my entire lifetime, I have never seen anything like this, and conditions are getting worse with each passing day. Well, that's why I decided many years ago to get a degree in agriculture instead of business, because I figured I could learn business. So anyway, I've talked about that in some past videos. So this is another final link on Farming Insider has warned me that the coming food shortages are going to be far worse than we were being told. Once again, this is Michael Snyder. And you can find him at themostimportantnews.com. Probably should have read this to you first, because that led me into the article. See what some of the comments are. Corn is a big part of high fructose corn syrup, which is in all manufactured foods. Oh, just for those of you wondering, you know, the ruble fell a couple of weeks ago. The stock market shut down for about 10 days. And now the ruble is back where it was. Okay, what else before I end this thing? Now, about gold and silver. I haven't talked too much about that lately. Here's a video. I don't know how to post it. But it talks about, I guess I should be reading this, but I was just thinking. I wonder how many people in Ukraine had a little bit of silver to get out of town. Well, anyway, I'm going to have to do more talking videos because I've said anyways twice. So I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for watching. And we'll see how this is going. And I'll talk with you all the next time around.